We've done so much work all over the world in a lot of places in a lot of different countries. And I guess a recent project that many people might know would be Hudson Yards in New York, where we created a master plan on a derelict rail yard that had a mix of uses: residential, office, retail, food and beverage, and strong connections to that urban fabric of the High Line. I think the High Line might be an interesting infrastructure to underscore because it anchors the northern end of the High Line. That's a new urban environment that I think really does have and it makes an impact on how people live and work, and 10 or 15 years it's just going to get better and better and better. It is how we think about making an impact on the public realm. Fundamentally, what we're so interested in is how can we create a fabric? How can we create an urban set of buildings that work together, that shape a linear park or a plaza, create an outdoor room that feels really comfortable to the human being. Some places, some environments need a landmark like Lotte Tower, for example. We needed to have a landmark that was an object that really kind of created a dramatic moment in the city. But at Parkside Seoul, we're really interested in using the buildings that shape the experience as walls and containers of a room that make a place, not an object, but they all work together to create a place. And we think about materiality, we think about color, we think about texture, we think about shape, paving patterns, we think about window details, joints, we really think about down to the quarter of an inch, how can we create a wonderful experience? And making sure that it doesn't feel artificial, that we want to make sure that we're thinking about authentic experiences and authentic materiality and things that feel solid and secure and timeless. At Parkside Seoul, so much of our effort has been about making sure that that is a key ingredient into making this a really wonderful place for people to live for a very long time. I mean, my feeling is that that's really the heart of Parkside Seoul, is that street. Most of our experiences in life, our public lives, we have strong memories of precious streets that are important to us. And I think that 330-meter stretch of Green Park is the heart of Parkside Seoul. We always talk about it conceptually as being sort of pulled out from Yongsan Park. We want to try to establish that connection conceptually, but also really draw from the landscape that's in that park and find a way to really make that strong connection to the site itself. So we're not literally taking plantings from, we're not pulling the species of trees or that into our development, but the idea of making that green kind of something that really feels good to come into the site is really a fundamental goal of ours, to the point where we're actually taking it just on the street itself, but we're bringing it all the way up into the section of the hotel, which to me is really powerful. I can see there is a really strong connection to thinking about New York Central Park and the relationship to Yongsan Park, and I think that probably is very true because probably the scale is roughly the same, has the same kind of presence, the same grandeur, but the scale of the buildings that are coming up around Central Park are so tall and so vertical that doesn't really have the same characteristic that I think Yongsan and Parkside Seoul will have, that relationship between Central Park West, Fifth Avenue, and Central Park South. The streets and the building block around Central Park probably won't really feel exactly like the relationship between Parkside Seoul and Yongsan Park. the quality is a lot like the buildings around Central Park, what we're trying to achieve. The quality is there, but the scale is more the scale of the development around the High Line. That's kind of the way that we're thinking about the presence of Parkside Seoul.